My name is Mac. I'm the Business Development Director here at InMode. My job is to make sure that clinics are successful with their InMode device.
Hi, my name is Sergio Massi. I am the ocular disease specialist here with InMode Canada and InMode BC. So I look after all optometry and ophthalmology accounts for everything dry eye and ocular disease related.
Hi, I'm Jackie Lowe. I'm the District Sales Manager for InMode here in BC. I cover everything that's aesthetic as well as dry eye here in BC for InMode.
Dr. Nina Wang, Jag Baines. I just want to say congratulations on behalf of InMode, InMode BC, InMode Canada. We're so thrilled that you've treated over 1,000 patients, and it just keeps getting better. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's been a blessing to help so many people in such a short period of time. We're just thrilled to be partnered with such a good company like InMode, who provides a full comprehensive solution for our patients. We're looking forward to the next milestone of 2,500.
Awesome.
I could generally see patients coming in here wanting to come back after 3-4 months, because usually the patient life for an optometry practice is 1.5 years, 2 years, right? It's one of their insurance, but when they have this experience, they're going to want to bring other family members, they're going to want to bring their husband, their wife,
The lady with Sjogren's.
Yeah.
So I've seen her son now, and she brought her mom in.
See? And they want to do that because of the experience.
Results, the experience, the smell, the taste, the touch.
Exactly, everything.
The expertise, the attention to detail.
This is like the apotheosis of optometry. This is where it has to be. Honestly, this is where it has to be.
Yeah.
No, seriously, this is where it has to be, ideally.
Yeah.
And other people have to see this, they have to witness it.
Yeah, man.
Because words can only do so much.
Yeah.
And think about it. You were a part of the InMode family and you were telling me this and I was like, oh, okay. And now I'm here, I'm like, oh, okay.
This is the device. This is the Forma Eye I was telling you about. This is the radio frequency for the eye. It measures the temperature 1,000 times per second. How it works is it's a bipolar radio frequency wand, which delivers a positive charge out, negative charge in. So it creates like an invisible arc, which is performed on the eye. So it feels like a hot stone massage, but we perform it on the eye, similar to this, and on the upper lid. And what that does is it delivers heat.
I love the space. This is absolutely gorgeous. So tell me about yourself and Island Eye Care.
Well, my wife, Anita, Dr. Narang, and I started this practice in 2009. We bought a clinic that was 10 years old. It came with 1 patient a day, so it was really just a clinic in a box. It was pretty slow, and over the next 10 years, we built up a thriving business into what you see today. Actually, in 2009, we also started an online optical. It was, I was bored at home. We had 3 small children as well, so we had a small family, and I was taking care of kids, and we started a business in the garage that worked in the same industry. So over the next 10 to 14 years, we built up this business to about 100 orders a day. So we 2021, we were like, let's make the change. Yeah, we felt like we hit the roof. This is the ceiling. This is as good as it's going to get. Let's exit.
What made you want to stay in the industry after 2021?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. So it goes back to 2019, pre-COVID. Addy Lay, he was your rep, doing the rounds for everything, Vancouver Island. So he brought to our attention that he has a device that treats meibomian gland dysfunction, which is dry eye. And I was like, yeah, we've heard it, because we had a lot of reps coming, peddling their devices, and it's like, I went to trade shows in Vegas, trade shows in New York, looking at these devices that really didn't make any sense. He came to the clinic and said, Jag, we got this device that treats dry eye caused by meibomian gland dysfunction.
Yeah.
And it's the latest and greatest, and I heard it all before from everybody, every other rep. It all seemed like snake oil at the time to us. You remember that? It was pretty rough.
We didn't know anything about it.
We didn't. We were very hesitant to give our patient base a solution that didn't work.
Of course.
you know, because when people come in and they add a consumable onto the device, a flag goes up in my mind. You know, this is a cash grab, this is a cash grab. It feels that way. And he kept on telling me about this device, and he goes, hey, there's a beautiful secondary benefit that removes the fine lines and wrinkles. So I went down that rabbit hole. And then COVID hit. Okay. A team that took 10 years to build, 12 years to build was gone overnight. And we just moved into this place.
Wow.
Okay, we were a year in here.
Yeah, a couple years in.
A couple years in here.
Yeah.
And it was starting to run like clockwork. And you know, we moved from a different place, upgraded into here. Anyways, so instead of rolling up into a little ball and crying, I took that time to reflect and streamline the business more, go to suppliers, negotiate better deals, that kind of thing, get to work, you know? Yeah. But I also went down the rabbit hole of InMode and learning about the technology with the RF and the IPL and whatnot. My mindset is there's gotta be another way. She was feeling the burnout and she didn't want to bring on anything new. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
A lot of work, a lot of stress. Now we're trying to incorporate something new.
Yeah. Get the staffing.
Yeah. All of it.
So many variables.
Yeah.
So COVID was over, the fog lifted, everybody came out from under the rug, and we went back to work. And you know, it was tough building that team back. That was the hardest part. That team being destroyed and really having to build that team back up was hard. This man right here, Sergio, came into the clinic one day, and he was InMode's rep for the optometric division. So I'm very in tune. I listen a lot and I observe a lot, and I noticed, why would InMode separate aesthetics and optometrics? So that was a clue for me, that there's something here. They're investing that in a sales force across Canada. There's something here.
Completely different division.
100%. Yeah. There's something there. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but I just picked it up, okay? So he was telling me about this device, and he said, listen, Jag, if you guys have any doubts or concerns, you need to go to Whistler. There's going to be a couple guys talking there that you're going to have to listen to, because they'll clear up any misunderstandings and misconceptions.
And that's where we met.
And that's where we met. That's right. And I said, you'll be seeing me in 7 months.
There you go. And you were right.
I did. You'll be hearing about me.
On the day.
Right? Yeah. And so she listened to Dr. Mulholland. This guy on stage was just something else, you know. He's so confident. You got to go to these. You got to see this guy speak. He's amazing. He'll do a procedure on stage with the equivalent of a meat thermometer, going through someone's neck, looking at the audience, doing a stand-up routine while achieving the results he wanted, you know, and educating the person on the procedure. This is amazing, right? So he also went through the efficacy of the machine. You were convinced at that time, but then also we learned from Dr. Dorn. He was a pioneer optometrist who started the dry eye protocol, and we owe him a debt of gratitude for laying the foundation for us on this whole journey, this whole new path for us, right? So she spoke with him. He explained how so many of his patients are getting relief from this painful condition of dry eye. You know, some people just can't. They feel every single blink, and we live it. You know, if you don't have dry eye, you don't know. Yeah. If you do have it, you know, and the majority of people will end up getting it because you're either going to get it from screens, allergies, blepharitis, ocular rosacea. You know, the last one, you won't have the legs out, run him, Father Time will catch up with you and he'll give it to you. Right? So inevitably you're going to get it anyway. So she bought in, And she said, we got to get this machine. And I think at that time I had already got the papers drawn up and all we had to do was sign.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a funny story because we wrapped up this whole Whistler trip to go like a family trip. So I like a good husband, I misled my wife and said, hey, let's just take the kids. We've never been there, right? So we went there, we poked our heads into the conference, and that's why we're here today now, right? I mean, it's been a journey. It's been something else, and this guy just, he set it up. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you differentiating yourselves from all other optometrists?
We are not a traditional optometric practice. So we have partnered with Helix Medspa, and they've become the leaders in dry eye treatments, getting to the root cause of dry eye, treating meibomian gland dysfunction using InMode, Forma technology, Lumecca technology, and it's allowing us to address the root cause.
Yeah.
So it's been working really well. It's allowed us to bridge the gap between ocular care and aesthetics, and so now we can do it kind of as a cohesive unit. Together. And so that is most definitely is what's setting us apart.
Yeah, and the design also.
And the design. And the experience here. Yeah,
The experience, the design, everything, just walking in here.
Yeah.
It's a totally different type of optometry practice that I've ever seen in my life. So what can you tell me about Helix Medspa and the patient care approach?
We share the same values as Island Eyecare.
Okay.
It's holistic, integrated healthcare. In this case, it's ocular health and wellness. Okay, we provide everything under one roof. Patient care comes first. That's paramount. We don't push anything. We give the patient the information they need in a clear, cohesive way. We show them the imaging. We show them the scans, and we give them the solution based on their unique conditions. And it's a targeted treatment plan, coupled with another layer of holistic approach, which allows us to treat other conditions that surround that. Like for example, ocular rosacea is caused by rosacea. Yeah. We want to treat that rosacea to protect the investment they put into the laser treatment on the eye using InMode's Lumecca, right? So it's a cohesive plan. It's just a good, it's combination, right? Multiple treatments, Lumecca eye, Forma eye. That's a big investment. You want to be able to maintain that throughout the year. It's similar to brushing and flossing when you go to the dentist, You can go there once a year, but for some reason that plaque keeps coming back. So no matter how much you brush and how well you eat, right? So it's important to take care of that investment,
What made you want to offer treatments for dry eye disease?
The need to help patients. I've been treating dry eye for 15, 16 years, and we were always putting Band-Aid fixes on problems. So it was short-term symptom relief, heat masks, eye drops, and people were still suffering. Every dry eye patient was still miserable. They'd be good for 10 minutes and then it would come back. And so they would start to feel every blink.
Yeah.
So this is where the InMode devices came in, is we're getting to root causes. And so we can provide long-term solutions and actually help the quality of life.
Because of getting into this and getting the whole system built into here. I'll get into that in a minute about that Whistler trip. We now perform, as a part of our comprehensive approach, a meibography on every single patient, no matter how young or old. And as a result of that, this is astonishing, right?
So we're actually finding patients that have autoimmune conditions that are undiagnosed based off of the meibography. So patients coming in 20, 25 years old, they're 70% blocked and they're healthy, right? They have no idea. So you see this and you start asking them, any joint pain, anything, whatever. And one patient, I've never been able to run.
Yeah.
Even as a child, never been able to run. Joint pain, back pain, random rashes, no idea. Getting shunned by their families, thinking they're complainers.
Rough. She disowned her whole family.
Oh, vice versa.
Well, okay, so there's just been a exile of her and her family because they thought that this is a hypochondriac complainer.
Right.
And we've given her closure. Because like, I got goosebumps telling you this story, right? You can see my beard raising up. It's crazy. Just changing people's lives. You understand that that wasn't an InMode direct thing, but it was a part of this whole comprehensive plan that we've got going here. It's amazing.
That's incredible.
It's amazing.
So sending letters to rheumatologists and physicians to let them know what we're seeing so that they can help.
I'm going to comment on that too. Like, she doesn't get paid for these. MSP doesn't cover her letters. She does it from the goodness of her heart. It's all about helping people. I mean, that fills our cup. I love it. You know, she loves it. It's just the best feeling in the world when you can change someone's life. You know, and there's no money. She'll stay up till midnight writing referral letters to GPs, and not get a red cent out of it.
It's incredible.
So how did you come across choosing InMode?
Oh. So, like this guy right here. Yeah. So he said to go to Whistler, went through that whole process, and that was it really. I mean, we listened to Dr. Dorn speak. This guy was so profound, telling us all the efficacy around this whole device and the protocol he's put into place. And hearing it from him really solidified it for us. And Dr. Mulholland's explanation of how long this device has been around and the efficacy, and we're only using it for dry eye. These people use it for like facial surgeries and other it's incredible the amount of procedures this device can do. It came from aesthetics. Okay, so we really were kind of interested in the aesthetic side of it. And this was it. It was a two-in-one solution for us. We could treat dry eye, but we could also get into the aesthetics world. It excited me because you could help people in other ways. But here's the thing with that. As much as I wanted to get into aesthetics and help people on their aesthetic challenges, we get pulled back in to do the right thing. So as a good example there, we were seeing an influx of ocular rosacea. Like, it's amazing how much ocular rosacea is out there. It's sad. Where does it come from? Facial rosacea. So before we could do anything aesthetic, we have to do the right thing and treat the facial rosacea. So our treatment room is completely booked. Right. We have no time for aesthetics because we're treating medical conditions. Oddly enough, the secondary benefit or a side effect is a aesthetic outcome. So you'll get a clearer skin tone, removing the reds and browns, reducing fine lines and wrinkles on the eye, giving you a slight lid lift. Because of that though, we realized, a couple things. We're on an island, and being on an island, things take a long time to come here. And we owe it to our patients to have some redundancy built in here. So we built out a second and third treatment room. We invested in another device to make sure that their treatments aren't interrupted from any unforeseen circumstances. You never know what's going to happen. These devices are reliable, but a power surge can destroy everything, right? So.
And we wanted to make sure too, like, we have very strict protocols for patients, so we want them to follow a specific treatment schedule. And because we're booked out so far, if they were to miss a treatment because something came up, it would be really hard. They'd have to essentially start over, which is a lot of time for those people.
And the other thing, the important thing was having that second room really elevates the experience. Okay, so what we noticed though is when we were here, and we're only here from 9 to 2. 2 o'clock we leave to pick up our kids. The kids need mom and dad now. We were slaves to the business for 14 years. Our kids have now earned our time. Or we've earned their time, I'm sorry, forgive me kids. Right? So what we noticed is there was a patient wait time because sometimes some patients take longer, or there's a complication and we have to call an audible and circumvent something. Maybe there's just one treater and they're getting exhausted because, staffing issues, that's a thing. So we built a second treatment room, not to run procedures in parallel, but to stagger them, to elevate the patient experience so they have the time to come in and not be rushed. They can take their time. The staff can take their time. The staff doesn't have to do back-to-back treatments now. It's just a good experience for staff and patients altogether.
Makes sense. On that note, I know patient care ultimately is your number one priority here at Island Eyecare. So dry eye has traditionally been a very kind of cookie cutter approach. Like, let's try this and kind of hope for the best. You've treated 1,200 patients. I just want to know, how have the outcomes been for these patients?
Amazing. There has been not a single patient that didn't have a positive result, which is impressive. It has surprised me because, like Jag said earlier, you read the research and you can go off of every other doctor's results and all of that. But when you're hands-on and you're seeing and you're imaging and you're seeing the glands improve over time, and patients are forgetting to use their eye drops.
That's an amazing, tell them that story. Should I tell them?
Yeah, you can tell them.
So we had this Sjogren's patient. this was earlier on when we started this, way, so long ago. So Sjogren's patient came in, did her 4 treatments, came for her 3-month post follow-up, and came out from the exam room and said, Nita said to me, she wants to talk to you. And she goes, I want to give you, I'm like, what's up? She says, listen, I want to, whatever you need, I'll give you a written testimonial, a letter, a Google review, a video, whatever you need. People got to know about this. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, this is before I know she had Sjogren's. Right. She goes, I forgot to use drops for 2 days. I'm like, put that into perspective. She said, I've been using drops every hour, on the hour, for the past 10 years. I forgot my eyes were in my head. This is a Sjogren's patient. These people feel every blink 12,000 times a day. Right? If you're in the industry, you understand what that means. And the smile on her face, that she once again took her eyes for granted. It was amazing.
She was actually on disability because of it.
That's right.
And she was able to get back to work.
Yeah.
It's amazing, life-changing.
Goosebumps. There's something here. There's absolutely something here. The word's got to get out.
What kind of options do you offer your patients to treat dry eye disease?
We have a very personalized approach. No 2 patients are the same.
Yeah.
So we start with a comprehensive consultation. We then find the root cause. Where is this all coming from? So we don't want to put Band-Aids on problems. I don't want to just say, hey, if it hurts, put a drop in. Yeah. I want to say, okay, where's this coming from? A lot of times it is meibomian gland dysfunction, but then where is that coming from? Right? So is it an autoimmune condition? Is it a skin condition? Is it excess screen time and you're not blinking enough so they're not being stimulated? So once you find the root cause, then you can design a specific treatment plan for that patient. Customize it. You have to, because nobody's going to be the same. Everybody's going to have different reasons of why. So once you figure out the why, then you can get that treatment plan. And then also this using InMode's technology, Lumecca Forma Eye, we can unplug those glands, get the flow going again. Now the patient's blink is naturally stimulating those oils. They're getting their protection, they're getting their comfort, but also too, I think sometimes we forget those oils are responsible for oxygen to the cornea. Mm-hmm. So you're getting your oxygen back. You got to keep that tissue clear in order to see. So it's maintaining the health of their eye. We're sending them home with self-care packages because at-home care is a must. We can't just fix you in-house, you never do anything ever again. It will backtrack because whatever was causing it at the beginning is going to continue to wreak havoc in your body. Right. And so you have to keep it in check with your at-home care.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to build a good routine around that. It's a big part of it, right? Building that routine, doing it every day, putting the time in. You got to put the work in. And that'll protect the investment, right? Absolutely.
What led you guys from transitioning to dry eye treatments to aesthetics?
It was a pretty natural progression.
Absolutely.
Patients started asking. So a beautiful little side effect of these dry eye treatments, we get wrinkle reduction, we get skin tightening, we got collagen production. IPL treatments will even out skin tone, they'll get rid of sunspots and rosacea vessels. So we were treating the eyes and things that are causing the eyes not to function. So things like rosacea, and patients were noticing all these aesthetic effects. And so they would ask, hey, can you do this everywhere? Right? Yeah. And usually the answer was not yet, right? Because we want to stay, you want to fix the issue that they're here for. Yeah. But what happens when you say no? Everybody's like, but can you? Can you please? And so this is where Helix Medspa then expanded its services. So offering photofacials using Lumecca to help even out skin tone, get rid of sunspots, doing formafacials for skin tightening, wrinkle reduction, and Morpheus 8 for skin rejuvenation.
And lid.
And lid, of course, lid. So Morpheus 8 for lids is amazing. So what it does essentially is when people get dermatochalasis or blepharochalasis, which is essentially the droopy lids. So medically, it will start to affect your superior field of vision, and you will be restricted in that sense. So it allows us to lift that lid, and so it will bring all of that visual field back. It also will prevent people from needing full lid lifts, blepharoplasties, and it avoids that surgical path.
Yeah, that's incredible. I've got a question actually. How have you found working more in a private kind of healthcare space as opposed to the medical model and patients?
So you're referring to the MSP model?
Right,
Yeah.
being open to these types of treatments and...
In the optometry, patients are accustomed to paying portion of their fees out of pocket, okay? And that's just the way it is. It's been that way for a long time in this industry. MSP used to cover eye exams. They don't anymore. They only give her a small portion for certain conditions. I'll tell you something right now. If you got an MSP clinic, you can't afford this. This real estate is too expensive. The math doesn't add up anymore. You can't sell that many glasses. There's an eyeglass shop on every single corner. What are you doing to differentiate yourself? Right. You have to be different. You have to provide full scope of services. People want an integrated health solution. They want to come to one place to get all their treatments. It's convenience. Everybody's busy. You think you got it rough, or we got it rough paying bills? They got it rough paying bills. Driving around wasting time like that is not productive for them either. They want to get home to their families. They want everything in one roof at a fair price, working with someone that they can trust. And you know, part of that is building the experience for these people so they have a safe place to come. It's an experience, it's a sanctuary for them, right? What we noticed is, as long as you're providing a solution that works, they'll be happy to pay what the price is. Okay, that's important to understand. Be fair. You have to pay your bills, you gotta pay your rent, you gotta pay your staff. All these costs are going up, okay? Meanwhile, the prices of eyeglasses are going down. Okay, so how are you gonna pay your bills? You gotta diversify, you gotta open up your scope of practice, be more comprehensive, provide the treatments in-house. You know what, I'll tell you something. Most aesthetic places are trained to stay off the eye, am I correct? Yeah. Okay, so we are trained to be on the eye. And now we have a device that can go directly on the lid, which treats dry eye, but with a secondary benefit of aesthetics, wrinkle reductions and collagen production. So we can treat those eyes, and if we can treat the eye, that's the hardest part in the body, I believe, you're gonna be able to treat anywhere else in the body. If we know the protocol for the eye, which we do, we have 1,000+ treatments under our belt treating the eye, and not just one cookie cutter treatment. It's been tailored for every single patient. So we know how to wield this sword. Okay, because we're so good with it now. We're serial learners. We had textbooks by our bedside tables, waking each other up. Hey, look at this, and I'd nod off. She'd give me an elbow, and you know. But it was emails in the middle of the night. It's fun though. It reinvigorated our passion for this industry. We were on our way out. We were on our way out. This was thankless. We have signs up saying, we will not tolerate physical or verbal abuse. Like that's how much this industry devalued itself. It was a race to the bottom. Patients didn't value the glasses, nor did they value the people servicing those glasses. And it was apparent. We were just over it. It was done. This thing has brought back a whole new appreciation for our business. I can't wait to get to work, to come and help people. That's the whole thing here. We're doing this because the word has to get out. People need to know that there's a solution for their dry eye, and it's InMode. There's other technologies out there, but they're not a comprehensive solution like InMode. And InMode produces the collagen in between the glands to straighten the glands out to restore function. You know, InMode reduces the inflammation. InMode melts that waxy buildup from the lipid layer. You know, we express those out, and usually by the third or fourth treatment, these patients are just over the moon happy.
You can actually see the gland expression turn from this toothpaste-like material to oil droplets. It's amazing to see.
It's pretty gross because when you squeeze it out, it comes out like toothpaste. We have a few videos on our social media. Go take a look.
Amazing. And you were saying you guys are signing up somewhere between 5 to 8 patients a day sometimes?
No, well, 5 to 7-ish, I see on average about 5.
How many do you guys do today?
7.
7 patients.
9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And so where do you find all these patients? Like, does everyone have...
Well, this is, okay, listen, okay, this guy put out, what he's saying in his talks, go to see him in his talk. Everything he says is real. You know, my background was IT, e-commerce, marketing. I knew most of it, but it's always good to repeat and relearn. And you got to put your stuff on social media. You got to get involved. You got to put that out there, because what's going to happen here is people cross-reference. They do research. They look you up. Okay, they're not going to ask Brenda or Bethany next door for a recommendation. They want to do their own homework because they have access on their hands. Not only will it help your business flourish, but you also get better staff. Because staff looks at that, goes to LinkedIn, they want to see what kind of a company, what's the culture, are they happy? You know, do I see different staff there every time I look at their social feed? That kind of stuff. This is going to bring a whole new genre of staff to you that want to stay here, that want to be a part of this growth because you're helping people and the experience is just like nothing else. I mean, you want more of that, more and more of that. It's selfish because I do it more for me than for them, even though they get something out of it and they're happy, but it double fills my cup, right? And I go home happy. I don't want to leave here. Make sure you think of every little detail. It's got to be clean. The uniforms made a big difference. You're a team. What baseball team or hockey team goes into the playoffs wearing whatever their mom didn't wash? Put on a uniform, act like a team. It's okay. And then you have this camaraderie. It changes your mindset.
Yeah. It really does.
And the patients look at you like you're professional, honestly. It's something else. It was a game changer. Sad we didn't do it since day one.
Do you have patients coming from any other clinics that weren't able to find the relief? Oh my God.
Plenty.
We've had patients come in that got the treatment from other places and didn't find the relief. We're talking maybe years ago when the technology wasn't there, or even now when they've chosen the wrong tech. I feel that there's a lot of people out there that are selling things that they don't believe in, they just need to make the money, okay? I'll tell you something, one good tip is when a salesman comes to your practice and bashes the competition, that's a red flag for me. That means they're desperate.
Yeah.
Okay, do your homework. I deal with a lot of reps. I've been in this industry for 15 years, and the sales reps that come and go in the eyewear industry, you kind of know who's trustworthy, who's not. I could literally in one sentence, I could tell you if I trust you. And this man I can trust. You know, everything worked out, man. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And I mean, when your devices work,
Yeah.
you don't need to talk about anything
No,
else.
exactly.
No, that's just
Talk about what works, why it works.
You know what would have been nice is if those people said, hey, it's a great technology, it's comprehensive. We do this differently, which can add value as a combination therapy, but they don't do that because they can't compete, because your whole solution is an all-in-one. There's no consumables, because it does the RF, does the IPL, does the microneedling. I have one tower. I had to buy a second tower for redundancy because I had too much overflow and patient wait time, so I had to increase not the throughput, but the experience. One of the many innovative things we're going to be doing are live treatments. So we partnered with Ray-Ban to provide us with the Ray-Ban Meta to do treatments and show people live treatments. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be pretty wild.
That's neat. That's really neat.
Yeah, that'll be coming soon to our Instagram.
So what kind of aesthetic treatments do you guys offer here?
Aesthetic treatments? Yeah. Well, anything from like a photofacial, Formafacial, Morpheus 8, on the full face, wrinkle reduction. We can work on the neck to reduce all that, you know, that loose skin that you get from aging. Yeah. Because you work with InMode, you have some flexibility on what machine you can use because the handsets are interchangeable. So we picked up the Triton, which is a top of the line, best in class laser hair removal. So from what I understand, it's 3 treatments and it's gone, and then it's just maintenance after that.
Yeah, pretty much 85% hair reduction.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So, but we could plug in our Forma eye and Lamecca eye into there. So we're going to increase our redundancy to ensure our patients' treatments are protected. But at the same time, from the hours of 2 to 5 p.m., which the doctor's not here, we can start performing aesthetic treatments like laser hair removal.
It's incredible.
I heard you guys had an amazing event.
Oh yes.
Will you do another one again soon?
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had a great turnout. The open house was great. We had a lineup out the door, people waiting to come in. We did it more as an informative event. So we had experts from different industries that we work with, that we partner with, come in and do more of an informative. It was kind of go from one booth to the next. And patients got a lot of information. We just wanted to get the word out because everybody needs to know that they don't need to suffer anymore.
That's right. Yeah, and then really showing them what industry partners we teamed up with to put this protocol together was important. We wanted them to hear it from the actual companies to know that we were serious about this and they were getting the right information. Yeah.